Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. And today what we're going to learn is how to do the magic loop. Now, the magic loop, in my opinion, is a wonderful technique to learn if you're knitting in a round. And the reason why I say that is because this needle can do so many different things. It could help you with projects as small as socks. And depending upon the size needle that you choose, you can go up to as large as doing an adult sweater. So the versatility is definitely there. So this is a technique that will be great to learn because you have so many different options. And I feel that it's beginner friendly because you won't have to worry about your stitches slipping off of your needles if you're doing, let's say, a DPN where there is nothing to grab onto the stitches. You kind of have to hold on to them. So this makes this technique a lot more beginner friendly to do. So for this tutorial, what you'll need is a large size circular needle. This one in particular is a 40-inch circular needle. It's measured from tip to tip, not just the measurement of the cord. So I'm using a 40-inch. This is what works, I feel comfortable using. And I'm going to be using a bulky weight yarn because that's what the pattern dictates for me to use. You, of course, use the yarn of your choice with the appropriate needle size. So grab those two things, come on back, and I'll teach you how to do the magic loop technique. So your first step in the process is to cast on the desired amount of stitches onto your needle. Now for my project, I need 32 stitches, but you do whatever your project dictates for you to have. So make sure, I would recommend to go back and double check the amount of stitches that you have on your needle. So I did that previous to recording, so I know I definitely have 32 stitches on here. So the next thing you're going to do is take your stitches and move them down your cord to, I would say, the middle. Doesn't have to be exact, but close enough. So after you move your stitches to the middle of the cord, what you're going to do is go back and count and divide your stitches as closely as possible into half. So half of 32 is 16. Now you may not always have a number that is easily divisible by 2. But for me, it works out. But if you have a number like, say, 37 stitches or 39 or something to that effect, just try to get as close to half as possible. Now, while you're knitting, you may have to do some rearranging along the line based on whatever you're working with. But again, just try to divide them in half as closely as you can. So I'm going to count 16 stitches. 1, 2. Okay, so that's my 16. And you see how I'm holding my finger here so I don't lose my place. So the next thing you do, and one thing I would also recommend, is to have a cord that's very flexible and very bendable. If you have a rigid cord, this is going to be a little bit harder for you to do, but try to work with what you have. But I would definitely recommend getting a cord that is flexible and that's easy to work with. So now that I have my stitches divided in half, what I'm going to do is separate and then bend the cord like so. Okay. And then I'm going to push the stitches down. And you see how I have that broken down in half? So that's what you should be looking like so far. So now I'm going to take those stitches, grab onto this part of the cord, and just move the stitches down as gently as possible. Move them down to the top part of your needles. Okay. Just make sure you don't, obviously push them off the needles. And another thing that I wanted to note is you see how you have this straight attachment here? This makes it easier for the stitches to glide back and forth. If you have a bend here and this joint part here, that's going to make it a little bit more difficult for you to glide back and forth, but that's something to also note when you're buying your circular needles. So just push your stitches up. Just be careful, again, not to push them off, okay? All right. So the next step you're going to do is see how they're twisted here. That's something that you don't want. So you're going to want to make sure that everything is facing in a downward position. You don't want any twist whatsoever. So everything should be lined up nice and neat like so. Now the next step you're going to do is you're going to turn your work. Okay? So you should be facing like this. But that's not the last thing. So lastly, what you need to do, now you see how you have your little piece of the yarn here, and then you have your piece coming from your skein or ball of yarn, however you want to you say it. You have these two here. These two need to be away from you. So to achieve that, you're going to just flip. But again, you need to make sure that everything is facing downward. So that's an easy adjustment. Just turn everything so they are not twisted. So now everything is set up for you to begin your work, okay? These two are away from you, all right? So now you're ready to begin. So you are always going to pull the needle from the back away from you, okay? And you are always going to knit off the needle that is coming towards your body. So just pull, and don't be scared to do it. Just pull this back needle out, okay? And you don't need that much. This is what's going to create what you'll hear as the figure 8. So pull out, make sure you don't pull to the point where this back piece disappears, but you're just going to pull out, all right? And you see how I'm holding them together. That's going to be important so that you don't create ladders at the start of your stitches. And ladders just means that there's basically, how do I want to say, like holes in the beginning of your work. All right. So now that you have them together, what I need to do is a knit one, purl one, but you're going to do whatever your pattern dictates. And I'm going to pull out just a little bit more because I need a little bit more leeway. And then again, just make sure you're not twisted. That's going to be the key. And now we're going to join in the round. So another key point, make sure you're not pulling from the wrong part of your yarn. You don't want this little piece. You want the one that's attached to your yarn. All right. Now you're going to go in and you're going to knit your first stitch. Make adjustments as you need to. Make sure you're pulling from the right yarn. That's going to be very, very important. I can't stress that enough. Take it, keep them closely together on the first 2 stitches. So take one there, yarn over, and then you're going to knit. Okay? So again, I'm doing knit 1, purl 1. You do whatever your pattern dictates. So I'm going to bring my yarn to the front, still keeping them close together so I don't create that ladder. And now I'm going to purl. Okay. All right. So now I can kind of let go and relax a little bit, but those first 2 stitches is critical to keep your needles close together. The needle in the cord here. So I'm going to go on with my knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, purl 1. I'm going to follow that down my needle. And then you're going to just do whatever your pattern dictates. And then I will see you at the stitch right before the end. Okay, so I'm at the point where I'm at my last 2 stitches. So here is what you need to do. So again, I'm doing knit 1, purl 1. So you're going to knit that stitch and then purl your stitch. Okay, so now you're at the point where all the stitches are off this needle here. So you can just drop it for now. And what you're going to do is, you see this end piece here, you're going to pull the needle so that it joins the other needle right here. Okay. Don't pull so much that you lose your stitches, but just pull lightly. Doesn't have to be right lined up. But then you're just going to turn your work. And then you can make the adjustments from here so that it lines up neatly. Make sure your stitches are not twisted. Like so. Everything's pointing downward, nice and neat. And again, like I said in the beginning of the tutorial, you're always going to pull from the back, knit off the front. As long as you keep doing that, you're going to be good to go. So now let's finish up the round because we're already joined. And we're going to pull from the back like we did before and knit on the front. Hold the 2 together. And I'm going to go in to knit. Going to knit my first stitch, do a light tug, and purl my second stitch. Okay. Now you can let go and relax and just do whatever your pattern dictates. I'm knit 1, purl 1, and scoot up as you need to. Knit 1 and purl 1. And then I will see you at the end of the row at the last 2 stitches. Okay, so you're at the last 2 stitches, ready to end the round. So for me, I'm going to knit 1, purl 1. You do whatever your pattern dictates. And here I'm at my last stitch. So I'm going to purl that stitch and purl. All right. So just like what happened last time, all the stitches are off this needle. So you can set it down. Okay. Make sure you're lined up and ready to go. And you're going to do the exact same thing. You're going to pull this part of the cable so that you have your 2 needles lined up together. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. And then you switch, you turn your work, and reorganize yourself. All right, so now you have just completed 1 round. Everything's straight, there's no twists, there's no bends, Everything came out perfectly and you're ready to start your second round. And again, just to recap, you're going to always pull from the back, knit on the front. And that is just that easy. So you just work up in your pattern as much as you need to. And that's how you knit in the round using your magic loop. So I hope you find that helpful. If you like these kinds of videos, please like, share, and subscribe. I would love to know how this is helping you in any way. So make sure you comment, and I will see you on the next video.